Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Randomly Relaxing. This is the first video I've done in quite some time. I'm actually chewing some gum, but it's quite old. I just recorded a video for my other channel, ASMR Sports, and I usually chew gum on that channel, so that is why I have it going on right now. Alright, well, let's talk a little bit about chess and my chess playing. So as you may know, if you've been watching this, I started playing chess, I don't know, like 4 months ago? Something like that. I mean, like theoretically, I'd played chess when I was in high school, in the sense that I knew how the pieces moved, and I tried to join the chess club once, and they probably pretty quickly realized I had no idea what I was doing, but I think that was okay back then. They were happy to have anybody who wanted to learn. But I just kind of wanted to move the pieces randomly and see what happened. And apparently bad things happen if that's how you play chess. So anyways, a few months ago, I sort of picked up chess again, and started playing, kind of pretty intensely for a while. But I don't know, I was at the 400 level in chess.com for, whatever, a month or two, and I was just like, man, I just don't really know how to get better. And, I did like a lot of puzzles, and I watched a few videos on like openings and stuff, but I don't know, it was not going very well. So I don't know, between then and now, I've started and stopped playing 5 times. My account name right now is Bruce Hornsby Rules, if you want to come find me. And that's the 4th or 5th account I've had at chess.com, because I just delete my accounts if I get too, I don't know, stressed out by chess. So to prevent me from playing. But I don't know, I keep coming back to it, and I just have to start to figure out when I need to not play in a given day or week. And a lot of times you just sort of get into it and you just want to keep playing, especially if you win a game or two, you just want to keep going. And then you lose a couple in a row, and it's just man, this sucks. But anyways, we are here. So actually right now my rating on chess.com is 821, which, I guess signifies progress. But, I think I've hit a wall, and, would probably need to really put some effort into studying. There's lots of things you can study, but whatever you choose to study, it's whether it's openings or gambits or middle game stuff or end game stuff, it takes time and effort and attention, and it's learning anything else, which I don't think I appreciated when I started playing chess, but I definitely do now. I just think chess is, it's like so many other things. You can have some innate skill at things that chess utilizes or requires in some cases. Memorization, or just sort of strategic thinking, or spatial acuity, I think is a term for being able to see how things are laid out in physical manifestation, and understanding how they relate to each other. So you can have a lot of skills in any or all of those areas, and maybe if you didn't study chess at all, and the only thing you knew is how the pieces moved, you would do better than lots of other people, but you would probably do worse than anybody who spent any amount of time learning the things that you need to know to do well at chess. That's basically, you know, what sort of, you know, moves and progression of moves is, you know, most likely to be effective in a particular kind of position. And I didn't appreciate that when I started playing chess. I just sort of thought, okay, I'm a bright individual. I should be able to do well just on that alone. But I was very sorely mistaken. And I understand now that, like, all of the people who do well at chess spend a crazy amount of time, you know, playing it and learning from their mistakes and learning just all the basically, you know, like the lines they say, the different progression of pieces that can happen in a particular, you know, I forget what they would call it, you know, like the, you know, the different sort of openings and different kind of games, named kind of games of chess that you can play. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I've learned. I'm trying not to get as worked up when I lose, but it's hard because for some reason my ego really believes. Actually, I hate them when they do that. I like it when they open e4, but usually I just do this with the d4 opening from white. And they do that, and that's like there's some kind of gambit here, right? But I'm not sure I know what it is. So I think you know, this is the move to stay out of whatever the gambit is. So now you just kind of, I don't know what I'm doing here with my commentating. But let's see what I want to do here. No, do I want to do that? I don't know. I can tell this is going to be a wacky one. Let's see. So if I take this, I know this has got to be some kind of like, you know, like gambit or trick or trap. And, you know, the first thing I notice is that my pawn is just going to be sitting out here without me having much of a way to protect it. And then, you know, their queen can come down and try to take it if I don't have a way to protect it. The only other thing I could do, I guess, is bring this up here, which isn't the craziest thing to do, because usually I'd be worried about, if you're good at chess, you're going to find this video maybe kind of annoying, unless you sort of use it as an opportunity to see what like a relatively beginner person at chess thinks. By the way, the clock is running. I really gotta figure out what I'm doing here. But I don't know. I'm just kind of like thinking aloud as though somebody who knows what they're doing is, you know, going to be watching this. So you guys can tell me in comments like why things that I thought during this process were wrong, and then I can probably learn from it. So that's my hope. Let me just think of it. So like, what if I went here, and then he took me there? Well, then he's got that attacked, I've got that attacked. That's kind of an even Steven situation. And then I've got this guy still sitting here, and he's got this guy over here to attack it. So I probably lose if I do that. I don't think I want to do that. Other options I could do, you know, start developing my pieces. Like I thought about bringing this guy out. I thought he could go here and kind of like trap me. And then, yeah, I don't know, I could still go here and like move this up and go back here if need be. But that just, I've done that a bunch and it just gets kind of messy. So in terms of developing, I could go here. The problem with not moving this guy is that this guy's trapped and he can really only go here. So I don't know. I'm not feeling great about this position. It feels pretty lousy to me. But I think I'm just gonna do this, and then maybe protect with this guy. Okay, so that's interesting. So now he's got the middle kind of locked up, and if I go here, and he takes, and then takes, and then that guy takes, like I'll have my knight in the middle, but that's not gonna want to stay there for that long, so it's not the best. So I'm already starting to see some limitations to this, but if I go here, yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. I mean, here's where trying to pin this guy might be something to try. Now, usually they'll try to bring this pawn down here, and then you gotta either retreat or just take. And I'll tell you what, lately I've been thinking I want to take like knights out early, because calculating their moves for me, and probably for most people, is tricky. It's a lot trickier than seeing attacks, from bishops or from rooks or from any of the other pieces, right? Because they move in straight lines, and that's very easy to see. So getting them off the board, I feel like is just an advantage personal to me, because I have a hard time more than others kind of, seeing forks that they create. And that's just because I'm a terrible chess player. But, if you're a terrible chess player, right, why not do things that make your games a little bit easier for you as a terrible chess player, I think. Yeah, so he just does that. So I'll just take, he'll take here, and then, this side of the board for white is, basically useless. Well, okay, not useless, but compare this side to this side, right? These pawns are all nice in a row. If he castles over here, he's good to go. Now I see that this guy has a nice tasty pawn to take right there, so I think I'm inclined to, go here, and I would suspect he's maybe going to move down here. And kind of force me to take him, or else move here and force a trade here. But now one of the things I want to try to do, well, first off, you noticed there's and by the way, if you've never played chess before, maybe this is somewhat educational to you, but again, I'm like a total noob, and I couldn't teach many people how to play chess. But if you're one of them, then great. So again, I'm mostly, my commentary here is to sort of like explain what I think about, and hopefully somebody who knows how to play chess is watching and would tell me like, oh, well, actually, this worry about this pawn hanging out here is, not a big deal. You should have been focused on something else, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm thinking here is the value of these videos, at least for me. And, you learn something by teaching, I think. But anyways, so I'm going to explain kind of how I think about all of these moves. And so anyways, over here, the pawns are kind of all over the place, and what you like to have is a nice row of pawns here. You can stick your king behind, maybe move one of these up to kind of protect, one or more of the others. But right now, this side he can't really do anything with, and that's, it's probably not a big deal, because normally you would castle to this side. Anyways, but he was probably thinking it would be nice if I didn't protect that, because then he can go here, and that is in total safety if he takes that, and I didn't move this here, and then he can castle right away. But I was thinking my strategy here might be to think about this. Try to disrupt this pawn structure. So there's a few ways, you can try to do that. You sacrifice something that forces him to take it with a pawn and then open up a gap here. Or you can just start developing pieces on this, towards this side to plan to attack there. And it looks like I might castle this way, or probably will castle this way. So now I've got a dilemma, right? Because, so as I predicted, he moved here, right? So he, I think, would like me to take here, and then he can go here, and then I've got nobody to attack him. He's kind of in my kitchen. He can take this guy, and I've got nobody to protect it. So I want to try to prevent that, I think. And the way I have an idea of doing that is maybe if I go here and he takes there, I can take here. And then this guy doesn't really attack anybody except this guy, but he's protected. But if I go here, he could move this guy here. And I don't think that's necessarily a problem. He's just kind of stuck there, and this guy can't really do anything in this, this column until he moves out of there, if he's here, right? So, and I can also attack him here if I can get this pawn out of here and then attack here. But I probably wouldn't want to do my queen, because then I'd be trading my queen for something. So anyways, I think I am going to go here and see if he ends up taking this. I don't think he will. I think he is going to push, and that's okay. It does kind of sort of obligate me to keep this piece here for a while, which is not great, because if he does castle over here, you want to start, having pieces over here. And in fact, that's interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, a lot of times, like, as soon as the guy castles, I'll just start, like, routing everything over here as best I can. I mean, there's limits, right, on what you can do without leaving things. So if he takes here, I don't know if this is, I don't know. I'm sure he's, a lot of times, when these rooks move, I don't quite appreciate, like, what they're trying to do. If he comes down, like, here and sits there, like, that would be stupid, because I'm going to take this. If he attacks this pawn, it's dumb, because I'm just going to take him there. So I don't see a whole lot of, I mean, if he can get his guy down here, but like a zippity-doo, I got two guys that can attack him. Plus this, if he goes all the way, it's like, I don't know. Well, I guess he's just maybe moving him over, because he kind of sees this as a, about to be a locked up position. But yeah, I don't know if I see the value in that. So in any event, I think it's time to maybe develop another piece. So that's what I'm gonna do. I play these games as 30-minute games, so each side gets 30 minutes. So it's an hour game, conceivably. They generally end, well before that. But I think it's like the longest, time control game. So here's an interesting, so this guy can now attack here, and nobody can get him, which is interesting, because, like, I could then attack here, and nobody can get him except the king, and if he moves the king, then he can't castle, so that would be a great way to F up the program, but he's going to see this, and he's probably going to protect this guy, and he can do that by moving here, but then I'm going to just attack him here. He could move the queen. I think those are his only two options. I guess he could move the knight here, and then if I go there, he can take him. So I don't know. I don't know what he's maybe thinking of doing, but I think if he's smart, he's thinking about how to protect this guy right here, because if I can get him, I can do some interesting things. Like I can even go here, and there's nobody that can attack there, and then I could go here, and then I would get attacked by the queen, except that he can't, because I've got this protected with this pawn. So yeah, I think he really wants to prevent this. And even if he goes here to attack, like I could just go here, and then he has to think about, what he wants to protect. Does he want to protect this? Does he want to protect this and prevent me from forcing his knight to take? So I don't know. I think he's got a lot to think about. But anyways, that's a move. And now all my pieces are developed. All my non-rook pieces. So I can castle on either side as soon as I move my queen, if I choose to do that. Okay. Oh, yeah. See, look at this. Now and it's what's funny is he took so long to decide that. But I kind of feel like that's what he was planning with this rook, right? See, now if I take here, all I've done is take a pawn. He's going to take there. And I've just traded my bishop for a pawn, which is horrible. And that's kind of what he set up, right? So, I could have. Now, here's an interesting thing about chess, right? You think, like, okay, I'm screwed. I have to move one of these guys, and the other one's going to get taken. But what if I move this guy here, and as soon as he takes A, he's stuck right there, and then I get to take this guy because nobody protects him. But then he's going to take this guy because I got no protection on him, because he's probably going to take this guy. And that would be the one to take, right? Because if he takes this guy, then this guy is protecting this guy, and he can't take it. So he's probably going to take this guy if I do this, if I move here. But then I've got his rook there, and I've traded a bishop, which is only worth 3 points, for a rook, which is worth 5 points. Now, the way he handles this, and I'm going to do that move, is he could bring his, well, no, he can't really bring, I was thinking he could bring in another piece to attack this column. So that was kind of silly. I think, right? Anyway, so if you bring another attacker here, then then you can take this and you can take this. But instead, he went and threatened another piece. Which is actually not a bad idea, right? Because my idea before was to bring this, and by the way, I'm like pointing to guys and saying this guy over to this place, because like I don't have, like, I can't go to like H knight D4 to C, or to rook C4, I don't have like the spaces memorized like that, and that's why I feel like a total chump. Anyways, so now he's I think protecting this idea of me going here, because that is actually a great move. But if I do that, then I've left my queen open to him, so I don't want to do that. I certainly don't want to trade a queen for a knight. But I think I'm going to take here, right? And then he's going to maybe take this guy, and then I'll just take there. With my queen, I don't have to mess up my pawns by taking with this pawn here and opening up a big hole there. So I don't know, feeling decent about this. And then like another move I can do at some point is move this up here to protect here, so then I can free up my rook to go do some business elsewhere on the board. Probably over on this side if I can. Yeah. Oh, okay, interesting. So let's think about this, right? Okay, so he's going to attack on my knight. And I have to move this. And that's probably okay, because if he comes down here, then I've got that. So that's all right. If he does that, I don't have a huge problem with that. But let's think about this. If he moves here, then he's got a fork, because he can attack this guy, and he can attack this guy. And if he moves, and by the way, if he moves here and I don't take him, he's got attacks on these two, which, would be a problem. But again, protected. If he moves over here, then he's got a fork with this and with this, and I can only take him with my knight. Then I would lose my opportunity to castle. So this all makes me sort of lean towards taking, and then I just, he would take with his pawn here, would open up my queen, but the queen is, protected. Then I would move over here, he moves here, and that's a problem. So, yeah, a lot of complexity with this position, isn't there? Well, that's interesting. Another idea, I think, would be to castle, and I kind of like this idea. Kind of like this idea because it, brings another defender of this rook over, because this will swap over here. It also brings the rook right here, so if he takes here, then I just go, no problem. Oh, I don't know. Let's try that. I can't say that's the best move by any stretch, but hopefully it's not horrible. Another thought I had was maybe to bring like my queen up here, sort of force him to do something. He would probably take, then I could just take over here and then kind of leave these guys where they are, which has a pretty nice appeal to me. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So one thing that like drives me bonkers and makes me like super pissed off about chess is when I, basically I blunder, right? Like I just leave a piece out hanging that it's, I can't do anything about, and I'm down. Right now I'm up a pawn. You see, I'm right here on the score board. It shows what pieces of the other side you have and how many points you're up. Each piece has a value, and I've got one more point than him because the pawns are worth 2, knights and the bishops are worth 3. He's got a bishop, I've got a knight. He's got 1 pawn, I've got 2, so I'm at 0.1. And it's funny, when you watch grandmasters or natural masters play online, it seems like if so he kind of did what I thought he took there, and I'm going to take here. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So he clearly had planned that, right? Now, do I panic? Probably not, right? The problem is he's probably gonna end up, breaking my structure up, which isn't the end of the world. A lot of times at the end of the game, especially at this level, which which is a low level of chess, right? Like you end up just having your knight or your king just running around doing all sorts of friggin' acrobatic crap. So it's not the end of the world if your pawn structure gets broken up, and the sooner you realize that, the better. But let's just think about this move. So what he's done is get double attack on here, right? I can't move this. If I move it, he's going to take my queen. So you sort of say, okay, well, it's a lost cause. So I think what he would probably do is take here, right? Then I can't take back because if I do, he's just going to kill my queen, right? So effectively, I've not got this guy protected enough right now. So if he takes there, I'm just going to have to live with it, and then he can take this, and then I can take him with my king, and he's dead. But actually, as soon as he moves there, he's going to take this guy. Or actually, let's see. So if he takes here, I do something besides this. Like I take this over here. He takes here. I do something over there. Then he takes here, and then I think I just take the rook, and he takes my rook here, which is not the best. So one thing I did, move this to get him out of harm's way, and then I can only lose this guy and this guy in exchange for this, but I'd have a pretty crappily protected king over here if I did all that. So it's interesting. Not quite sure. The thing I think was I could go here, and then he kind of has to attack with this, but I don't know if I like that at all. So I think I'm actually just going to take here, and then he's going to go here, some crap like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure here. That's tricky. So ideally, I'd have another way to protect this piece, but another thing I could do, if I go here, I forget what they call this, Gotham Chess, whose first name is Levy, has a name for they say if they threaten one of your pieces and you do something that threatens one of theirs. So if they do that, then I have this, but when they have, basically as soon as he goes here, then it'll open up my queen. So not necessarily the greatest idea. Yeah, boy, I don't know. I mean, I could just get my queen out of here, right? Then he attacks here, and it's oh, so what? But the problem is, I don't know, maybe that's not a problem, right? The problem is then the only thing I have attacking this square is this. But it's who cares, right? If I'm going to lose this pawn anyways and open up my king, why not just, I don't know. This position really confuses me, quite frankly. Yeah, I really am not sure. I don't know. I kind of think I maybe might do this. No. What do we want to do, guys? I think I'm going to move here. So then he attacks here. I take him there. He takes here. And then he's kind of, drawing blanks at that point. So maybe minimize my damages. I guess what it does is it just means I'm, sacrificing 2 pieces for really nothing. So I don't know. But I can tell you right now, I'm gonna lose this game on I think here's an interesting. I'm gonna do this, right? Because he can't really take, or he's gonna lose. Well, I guess he could. But what I want to do is just sort of get this guy up in business. I'd like to take this guy. Oh, what I was thinking was this guy blocks me from like having my queen or a bishop, which I only have one of. It's the wrong color. Coming over here and attacking the king, so I want to like take this guy out. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just a bad position I'm in, and alright, so that was expected. Oh, here's a thought. What if I just went like this? You see how like sometimes I just do moves and I don't even like think about them, and I probably should. Oh, okay. So he did. So we're just trading rooks, and then he's gonna bring his queen over there. But at least I got. Well, no, I don't know if I accomplished much there. So now the queen looks at this. Yeah, I don't know. He's up. So that knight, I just basically sacrificed. Try and get this bishop out of the kitchen. Oh, traded queens. And I didn't even realize I was like sort of offering that, but yeah, so like the the rule, right, that I've heard now I kind of wish he would. Well, no, I don't. I'm gonna force him to castle because he knows I'm gonna go up here, and he's gonna have trouble if he doesn't move his king, and then I'm gonna take his. So he's gonna castle now. $1,000 says he castles. So I should probably think about what the heck I'm doing after he castles. I'm not sure what else he could do. Yeah, so he castled. So now I'm going to try to maybe attack his structure over here a little bit. I wonder if he's going to move this guy over here to protect. That would probably be the move. Yep. So now I can, I'm not sure. I have a whole lot of things I've got in my mind. I just gotta do something. Let's probably like do this. So he's got a real advantage in pieces. He's always gonna be careful of is not to move this rook from this row. At least while I've got an open thing here. Now I can't go straight up because he's got this guy here, right? So, okay. All right. So now he's basically threatened my bishop. I could just trade bishops. It's probably not the best because, ooh, I don't think I have a choice. Yeah, I don't think I have a choice. I have to, accept that trade because this bishop has nowhere to go. He can only go there, then he's attacked there. Go here, he's attacked here. So, yeah, although I could let him this is a problem because I can't go up here. I think, yeah. But it's nice that, I have these attackers here because, if I didn't, like, I'd have to decide whether I take, right there or not. But I can just sort of let him attack me. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this thing, where I attack him and he can go here. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to go up here. So now I'm going to lose. Yeah, this is what happens when you move too quickly. I was thinking I could move this guy up here, right? Because you can move 2 as your first move. And then I have a nice structure here where all these pawns protect each other and the king protects this pawn. But now he just takes this, and it's not great because then I'm down another point, and he's in my kitchen, and I can go up here and then force him out of there, but I don't know. He's gonna attack here at some point, and it's getting pretty dicey. Like, I'm definitely down. I'm definitely like in bad shape here. But at this level, which is a pretty low level of chess, I think like basically what you're doing is trying to last long enough for the other guy to blunder. Because and I've already blundered because I gave away my knight for nothing. But the odds of the other person blundering are like very high. So I think like, you're just sort of seeing if you can outlast the other person's blunders. Basically not blunder before they blunder. It's a blunder battle. And on chess.com, at the end of every game, it shows you like how many of your moves were good, how many were what they call inaccuracies. And how many were like brilliant, and and then how many are blunders, right? See, and every single match that I play, there's like at least one blunder, and there's often like 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how long the match goes. But if this match has gone, relatively long, we're getting there. We're getting to the end game. We're gonna just start killing off, all the remaining pieces. But I bet at the end, and you'll see if we get to the end of this game, we might, see no reason why we shouldn't. But you will see that we've both done a crap ton of blunders. And you just sort of hope that you happen to capitalize on theirs like one more time than they capitalized on yours. Isn't the hope? But right now he's probably thinking like he can, he's got so many pieces pointed. Like this guy covers this square, this guy covers this diagonal, this guy covers this diagonal. That leaves me with like nothing, like over here basically. And then you just bring a rook down, and he's trying to figure out how can he force me, over here, to do something. And I tell you what bothers me most about this position is this freaking guy right here, because I can't go here and I can't go here like ever, and I have no real good way to kick him out of there, especially because he's on green. So if I only had a bishop that was green colored, could I maybe bring it down here and then get him when this bishop leaves at some point? Yeah, I don't know. So my only hope, I think, is the guy does something stupid with this and then doesn't realize he's got a problem up here. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking my next action is going to be to take here. Basically sacrifice this guy. It's not a sacrifice. I mean, it's a trade, right? It's a trade of bishop for bishop. So then I've got my rook and his one bishop against, but he's going to have to move one of these pieces before he can get this guy out of here. So that will take a move, and that is a move that hopefully I can use to my advantage. Like if I go here, he takes there. His next move is to get one of these guys out of here. Then I can take this. This pawn. So, and you know, when you get I feel like what happens as you get better at chess is like your games are more likely to last until basically everybody, you know, you've just traded so many pieces with, you know, even trades with the other player that, you know, you just get down to this end game where it's like, you know, one or two major pieces and a bunch of pawns, you know, against, sorry, I got a phone call coming in. I'm going to mute that, but you have, you know, just one or two major pieces and, you know, a similar number of pawns on the board, and you've got to figure out how to turn that into a victory, and then oftentimes you'll trade the remaining one or two pieces, so you've just got pawns, and then you've got to figure out how you're going to get a pawn, you know, passed pawn to the other side of the board, so you can turn it to a queen, and then basically you're victorious. But like at the levels, I think basically below 1,000, that's less common to get there, like because somebody blunders so badly in the middle game or at the beginning that like it's just over very early. So I haven't really played a lot of end games, but I've done a lot of puzzles. On chess.com, puzzles are where they just show you like a board, like a layout, a position, and then you have to, you know, figure out what the best next move is, and it's usually like there's a checkmate somehow, or else a trade in your favor if you do the right moves. But I don't get to practice that a lot in these matches I play because they're often over well before, you know, you get to that point where it's just like one piece and a bunch of pawns. But I've noticed that like if you watch the Grandmaster games, so it took like 6 years to do exactly what I thought I was going to do. So here's pretty much exactly what I thought was going to happen. I want to keep this guy here because then he can't go here. I mean, I could go over here and then just drop down, and then like I'm kind of screwed. I guess I can go here, and I can go here. Anyways, so I'm going to keep taking stuff. Okay, so I think so I don't know why did he move to that square? But anyway, I'm going to put him in check. So we're getting very close to one of these end games, right, that I'm talking about, because I only have one piece, major piece, and the other guy only has two. The problem is with one, it's like, what are you really gonna do? That's not very difficult. Now this is interesting because he's got this guy. He should move him. Yeah, see, that's smart. And I just go here. No. If he moves here, I'm not sure what to make of that one. I guess I gotta do this, right? He's gotta move here. What he should do is move here. this guy here, but then I just go, well, then I have to go here, I guess. But he's got this pawn is dangerously close to getting to the end of the board, in which case we'll turn to a queen, and then I'm pretty much, toast. And now we can start doing like these never-ending checks. But I'll tell you what, when you get these end games, and you've got, well, that was interesting. Oh, I guess he was just kind of getting them out of the way. Fair enough. You get to these end games, and you've got like, I only have one pawn here, which, kind of sucks, right? But, if you've got a king around, a small cluster of pawns, and they don't have a bunch of pawns, if they don't have a pawn in your area, like, it's very hard for players to figure out what to do with that. You should move here, but then I'm just going to take, so maybe you shouldn't. So, okay, if he wants to trade, I'll do that. Okay, so what do I got to do here? Let's see, I'll take this guy up. Oh, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what to do here. Like, there is a move here, but I don't know what it is. I think, like, if I go here, then he can just take with his bishop, and there's not a whole lot I can do. I think I'm going to go, no, I can't go there. Yeah, this is where I'm not really entirely convinced I have any. Go like there, maybe, and just waste some time. I do feel like this is going to come down to the clock. Interesting. Now this is where, like, if I had more time, I could probably, oh wow, that's interesting. He's got this covered, and he's got this covered. My goodness, I guess I'll just go here. But it's very hard for lower level players to, like, figure out kind of what to do. I'm gonna go here. In these kind of endgame situations. So, like the chance of blunders, I feel, go up if you just kind of keep a cool head. Oh, okay, well, there you go. That's a problem. Now let's see. Okay, so I can't go here and I can't go there. I could go here, he goes there, I go here. Yeah, I think I just lost. If I was a little better on time, I might just sort of like run around a bit and see if I could distract him, but honestly, it doesn't take like that long to, yeah, I think I just have to resign, but that's okay because I got to return this phone call. All right, so I'm going to resign, and then you'll see at the end here, yeah, see, look at this. 8 blunders. I'm not sure if that's both players or just me, but if you do this game review, yeah, it breaks it down. Okay, so like, black was me and white was the other guy. So there's your accuracy. That's like how many of your moves basically were like, I think, book or better. And this is like sort of the best, and this is the worst. Blunder's the worst. And you see he just had, a higher percentage of moves that were good. And so that was the edge. But I made 3 blunders and he made 2. And, if either of us was good enough, 1 blunder would be enough to, basically just be the easy end of the game. But, oh, I should say the other thing, I don't really do this anymore, but I used to. It's like even if I get down to they've clearly got an advantage, like at the end of this game, where you know, the guy was clearly going to get a queen from getting his pawn to the end of the board. Like the odds at these lower levels that you can get a guy to basically hang the match by like creating a draw situation where like I don't have a legal move that doesn't put me into check. Like if he, you know, puts his pieces, so that's true. Then, you know, it's a draw and neither person wins. And I think like he would actually get maybe a point or two because he's lower rated than me. So it might give the lower rated person like a slight advantage in a draw. But like if I'm playing somebody better, you know, or who's about my level, then the draw can be a 0 point loss or sometimes even a gain for you. So I sometimes try to play around with that, but I don't know. It's not what I do usually these times. So anyways, if we look at this over here, you know, he's got 17 best moves and 2 great moves. And I have only 12 best moves and 0 great moves. So clearly he was playing better moves. I should say he or she. I did have more good moves. Thank you very much. I had a lot more inaccuracies. 1 fewer mistake and 1 more blunder. So, you know, the stats kind of show, I think the tail of the tape there. And you would guess looking at these stats that I lost this match, in which in fact I did. So, you know, it's about, I guess, what you'd expect based on the performance of the moves. So that's about that. So anyways, I don't know. I enjoyed this, I have to say. Well, first of all, I didn't get like my queen taken without, you know, me being able to take his queen back. So that's probably the most infuriating thing, because that's just like, God, how could you be so careless? That really upsets me. But losing it all generally upsets me. But like as I try to explain what I'm doing and hopefully get maybe somebody to tell me some good ideas on how I can suck less, I think actually helps me a lot. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope if you have any thoughts, you'll share them. And hey, it'd be great to play a fellow or a viewer of randomly relaxing. If anybody wants to set that up, maybe we could record a video, and I could turn chat on. I generally don't have chat on because I don't know. I just feel like it would be too much of a distraction. And if somebody was like taunting me as they're kicking my butt, I would just like get super. Then I would like really get mad. And I already get pretty mad. So, all right. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Happy chess if you're a player, and we'll catch you all later. Bye.